up, T-Table? Today we're going to look at more Obsidian Flames. Last video, we took a look at Shadow Rider. Today we're going to take a look at Toxtricity, which hopes to bring back Rainbow Road. So Rainbow Road, as you see here, was a deck that played Xerneas from Breakthrough. It did more damage for each different type of Pokemon you have in play. So that is our goal. So we're going to jump right in here. Couple translations will appear on the screen, as I could not find in English language translation for them. But don't worry, we will still look at the cards. So we'll start with Toxtricity. It does ram. That's cool. Picture's adorable. But we're going to want to evolve into Toxtricity. First attack, we're not too worried about it. But the second attack here, 50 plus 30 for each different type of bench Pokemon you have in play. So you're like, oh, you can only have 5 different types on your bench. Well, that is where you're wrong. We got Capsakid, slightly spicy if heads your opponent's Sperm Boy. But the Scovillain, as you see here, this Pokemon is Grass and Fire, which adds 2 types to your damage, increasing your attack by 60 instead of 30. You can also attack with it to knock out a Charizard EX, which we'll talk about in a moment as the attack does. You see what it does there. So then we got Hoopa V, also Dark and Psychic. So that is another 2-type Pokemon you can have in play. We cannot attack with this one. It is just there to provide 2 types. Then you got your Bidoof, obviously, and your Barrel. Especially in a deck like this, you might need to recover often because you don't have a lot of HP. So you're going to want to draw a bunch of cards, drawing a 5 each turn for your World Champion Barrel. We got the Sween Basculin that was in this list. Search deck for 2 base Pokemon on your bench. We got that Manaphy to protect our bench damage. Obviously, as we got all the single prizes, we don't want a bunch of things to happen to them. And you got that Radiant Hawlucha, which adds a fighting type and lets you do more to V maxes. I want to say thank you to Pokecop for the deck list here that we saw today, or we're looking at today. It's a very cool one, and the more we get into depth to it, you're like, wow, that's some cool stuff going on here. So those are the Pokemon. So you see Toxicity, so we got 50, right? So you got Toxicity bench, 30 more, 80. Scovillain, 110, 140. Barrel, 170. Hoopa, 200, 230. Hawlucha, 260, possibly more. On a 1-prizer, that's pretty crazy. And then with a lot of little tricks we get, you can just be knocking out things left and right. So let us move to the trainer cards here. We got Iono. Obviously, you want to shuffle, disrupt your opponent, put those cards on the bottom, and still draw with your Barrel. We got 2 Professor's Research Mommy Edition. Discard your hand, draw 7, just kind of help you get set up. There's only 2 because you do have a Barrel, and you don't want to discard too many things. We got my boy Raihan here coming in with his Flygon. If your Pokemon was knocked out last turn, you can play this card. Attach basic energy for disc pile to one of your Pokemon if you do search for a card from your hand. So if your deck, with you being knocked out, rather easily, you're going to need to recover. We have the reversal energy, but we will talk about that down the road. The Rainbow Road, perhaps. If you're still watching, thank you. So you got the Raihan for the quick recovery there. And you got, obviously, 2 bosses or to switch of your opponent's bench Pokemon with the active. Help you get those key knockouts. And the Serena. Serena kind of been falling out of decks, but, the more we get EXs, but still has a good purpose of switching your opponent's feet or discarding cards and drawing until you have 5. You have to discard at least 1 card, so it does help you kind of draw if you need to. We'll take a look at these items here. You got that Battle VIP Pass, search deck for 2 basic, put them on your bench. Only caveat is SP during your first turn, but the card is just too good not to do that. You got the 4 Ultra Ball, discard 2 cards, 2 other cards, search for Pokemon reveal and put in your hand. Obviously, randomly just combos with Barrel because it lets you draw more cards. We got those 3 Nest Balls to help you get the basics on the bench because it's not always about the VIP or the Ultra Ball. You need that Nest Ball there. We got the 2 Super Rods in deck because of the Pokemon you want to have attack with. You're going to need to recycle this Pokemon and energy a pretty good amount of time. So you want 2 in case 1 is prized. You have to discard 1 early with your Professor's Research. We got that Escape Rope. It's always good to make your opponent switch their Pokemon. Maybe they're like, alright, if they don't have a boss this turn, I can win. Nah, I'm Escape Rope and make you lose the game. Anyway, you got the 2 Choice Belt here. Attacking this Pokemon is 31 your opponent's V. So it lets us do a bunch more damage. Knock out Arceus, perhaps, with our Toxtricity. That kind of thing. Pretty sweet there. And we got Super Effective Glasses. Very excited to see this card in the deck. When applying the weakness to damage from the attacks of this Pokemon, you apply the weaknesses 3. So if you're facing an Umbreon VMAX or a Charizard VMAX with your Scovillain, you do 330 damage. And that's a knockout, and that's 3 prizes. So that is like a really cool thing that you can search with Raihan, or a card you're going to see in a second. Maybe more than one, I don't know. It's like a meta thing. You know, obviously we don't know how Charizard would be popular, but we do know Umbreon is. So your opponents, you go fight, you're like, you're knocked on my Toxtricity. But bam! 330. Your Scoville probably looks wild with the glasses, because it has 2 heads, so I don't know how they, like, share the glasses. You know, if one just... I don't know. That's not for me to worry about. I just want to attach it to my Pokemon. And then there is one copy for a Steel Stone. You do only have one V in the deck, but it is a V you want to play. So if you draw the Forest Steel Stone, it is very good. This card is attached to a V. You may use this once a game. Just search for any card. So it does help you recover or search for the final piece you might need to. And we got our stadium in the deck. Town store here. It says we have 0. There's 2 copies. Once each player's turn, the player may search deck for a tool and put it in their hand. Then the player shuffles their deck. So, your Seal Stone, Choice Spot, or the Super Effective Glasses, you can just search it out. So you're like, alright, I got a Raihan for the Scovillain. Or the reversal. You're like, alright, well that's fine. I'll Town Store for the tool and get the knockout. So I think that's a pretty cool thing. Some sort of difference like what a Zoroark deck would do with like, I can attack with this and this. But Grass is getting a little better almost as a necessity depending how Charizard and Umbreon play out in the meta. Obviously Umbreon's still popular, but Charizard, wait to be seen, but if any indication so far, we will be facing some Charizards in our future. Then obviously we got the 5 Dialing because you need those to attack, and then you got the 4 Reversal Energy. This provides colors, but as long as you have more prize cards remaining and it is attached to an evolution Pokemon that does not have a rule box, which all of ours do not, that are evolution, it provides 3. So it does help you pop off here and pop off here out of nowhere. So you could Raihan onto your Toxtricity and get this to attack for later. So it's a really cool thing. There that the deck provides like as another attacker or another way to attack fast. So if you don't have the Raihan but you did draw a reversal, it is very effective in letting you continue to attack. So this is a list from Pokeka. What I've noticed is they do like Boscalion a lot over in Japan. I'm sorry, Basculin. It's a cool card. I like that. So, you know, if you don't like that, there's some cards you could put in something different. I'm not sure really what you would put in. Some people have been trying out Cleffa, which also would be a psychic Pokemon. If your bench isn't full. But who knows? Because you kind of want like a Toxicity active and one on the bench. You don't want too many on the bench depending on the matchup. And you can just kind of rotate the Toxels after one gets knocked out. Is basically what you want to do here. But I would say this deck's going to be very fun. This is like a Elite Challenge deck. This is like, I'm going to get people, you know, we're going to get them in the one game. We're going to bop them. And we're going to hope we, you know, move on with their lives and take that W. So, probably has a little problem with the last box, but what random non-rule box deck doesn't at this point, am I right? So, with that being said, Toxicity, give it a shot. Revive Rainbow Road. I'm Josh Hatter. That's a lot of cool Pokemon. I definitely had to look up what Scovillain was called. Did not know that name. This is the Tea Table. And I'll see everybody next time.